Hey guys, welcome to Group Chat.
Woo!
Let's go. Woo. We got a hot new schedule. Starts this week, today and Wednesday. We got a big episode. We got a lot of news to talk about. We also got just a lot of friendly sort of banter as they call it, about just things that are going on.
Cultural observation.
Cultural commentary, maybe. First of all, we did kind of start with talking about why Group Chat fills a niche that nobody else does, and we're the coolest podcast in the world, biggest podcast in the world also, but that's just what the data says. D, even though it's a week later, D still has a bone to pick about Frank Ocean because he was supposed to be performing tonight. He's got a lot to get off his chest and he wants to talk about it. So
I had to let it fly.
You do. You got to let it fly. We're talking about Fear of God and the fashion show they just did at the Hollywood Bowl. There was a big boxing match over the weekend. Some inspirational stories. Dee actually said on this podcast, I'm not the type of guy that gets inspired, period. But two things inspired me this week. So you'll hear what those were.
Which is crazy. He got inspired twice this week.
When do you think's the last time you were inspired before this week? Like 2018?
What was I inspired by?
Mumford and Sons, 2011?
Mumford and Sons was a big moment. What was kind of inspiring?
Kobe.
Oh, I mean, when Obama got elected, I was inspired.
2008.
2008.
Last 15 years ago.
Last time I was inspired.
Okay, so
when
Obama,
watching that speech, I cried.
Okay, so 2008,
the one in Chicago in the plaza.
Yeah.
We went out that night that he got elected.
Yeah, I remember. We were what's at Petite Taqueria today?
Whatever that is. Yeah. That club. And there's a fake Obama.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. So that was the last time I was inspired.
Okay, so 2008 when Obama got elected, and then twice last week. So things are looking up, and you're going to find out exactly what it is. And then we have Eric Deluxe on the pod. If you know the pod at all, of course you know Eric Deluxe. He's a good friend of the pod, world-renowned DJ extraordinaire, and also has a new gift that we didn't know about, which is he's a brilliant fucking fashion designer. So
the next Jerry Lorenzo.
Fear of Eric here.
We may be at Hollywood Bowl in a year.
We might be at Hollywood Bowl in a year, and we have an announcement. Well, I'll just say it. I mean, we have some big news going on with our merch. So stick around. At the end of the episode, we talk about it with Eric, who is the design genius behind our new drop, and the stuff looks incredible, and it's coming out tonight. So tune in for a little word from Eric, word from the design guru himself. Right, Eric?
Yeah, thank you.
That covered it?
That was great. Keep going.
Okay, perfect. That's it. Are we ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Good news, guys. My mom has approved of our new schedule.
Wow.
So
She likes it.
She likes it. My parents are very vocal about our changes, about our lighting. You know, they like my new ring light. But they approve. So are we getting any feedback from the audience, or everyone seems pretty gung-ho, right?
I would say generally speaking, everyone is like, we'd rather do the episodes if all three are on. So that's good. Few people are like, I think the people that do the commute and they're like in the car 5 days a week, they're like, fuck you. I don't care. I just need content.
Yeah. I mean, look, mix it up, like you can mix it in with some other, name any of the 5 million great podcasts. It's fine.
I'll be honest. I try to find other podcasts. They suck.
Most podcasts
are really tough to listen to.
I pretty much have 3 that I can listen to.
Because you know what the problem is like that. I'm genuinely interested in just nerdy shit, like whatever. It's just not entertaining. It's not funny.
Oh no, it's not entertaining at all. I try really hard to listen to that stuff.
and like the really like quote unquote entertaining stuff is stupid.
Yep. It's one or the other. You're either like, I guess I don't want to trash anyone, but you're either really entertaining and talking about nonsense.
Yeah.
There's some really good like comedian podcast. Like some days when I'm like,
you're either the Joe Budden podcast talking about nothing,
or BFFs.
I'll give you a better example because they have a great podcast. Is like Theo Vaughn or like Bert Kreischer. Like there's some really funny comedians who do great podcasts, but it is just fucking nonsense. Like it's great if you don't want any like negativity. Sometimes I'll put them on in the background when I want background stuff, but no negativity. But man, you get dumber. You definitely don't learn anything.
No, I agree with that. 100%.
Or you're learning and it's fucking, you might as well be in like a college lecture.
What's funny is I, on a flight last week, I was kind of amped up because I had a phone call, and so I needed something to go to sleep when the flight was taking off. I listened to like a Lex Friedman podcast.
Yeah,
I fell asleep.
You can easily fall asleep to Lex Friedman.
15 minutes.
No, that's easy. That's easy.
I don't even remember what they were. Quantum physics, some nonsense. I was knocked out in 10 minutes.
Yeah. And it's sad because it's such good information. Like it is like,
No, it's
wow, the
unbelievable.
fact you can get that. Even like Andrew Huberman does great stuff, but man, it's just this dude talking into the fucking mic, relatively monotone. And those guys are so great, but we definitely fill a void there, I'll say. I'll give us
just entertainment wise.
I mean, our first 5 minutes are probably funnier and more entertaining than anything they've had.
Yeah, we do. We have a good little niche.
What's going on with golf banter?
Yeah, golf banter. So
what do you want to talk about, Anand?
So Drama had a big match.
With who?
Eric Weiss.
Who has to suck?
No, he's good.
Eric Weiss, he's good.
No, he's
so short.
It pisses me off that he's good. He's fucking good.
No, Eric's a shark.
Really? So Eric's one of our childhood friends. We've known him since
we were 5 years old.
Yeah, I probably know him literally after birth.
Probably. Right.
But also his profession. Do we want to say that? I just want to paint the picture.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, of course.
So
he's a Jewish accountant.
Okay, there you go. Still,
he knows all three of us. He knows exactly how much money we have in our bank account.
But by the way, he knows every one of our friends. And how much money they have.
Yeah, if you want to fuck us all up, kidnap this guy and just torture him for information.
He can ruin our life.
Yeah. But here's the thing is like, I love him today. He's a great guy. I really do love him. And Eric, I know this is going to get back to you, so I mean it. But he's not the type of guy that you want to beat you at anything.
Yeah.
Like you want to be able to smoke him at everything. Well, and he's just, like, I don't know. You just don't want Eric to smoke you, but he's just so much better than me at golf. It sucks.
So Eric is a member at El Cab down in, is it Calabasas?
No, it's like Woodland Hills,
Encino?
Probably. Yeah. Like Woodland Hills, probably past Encino in Woodland Hills.
Yeah. So he's a member at this country club, and he was hosting Drama for a round.
So just the two of you guys.
Just us two. Almost got him kicked out.
Yeah, I heard Drama wore a backwards hat
and a pair of jeans,
untucked polo.
I had
whatever.
slacks. I had slacks on, untucked polo. Which I mean, come on, guys, we're tucking in polos.
You have to
this is what I'm going to live. They made me tuck in. No one makes you tuck in these days.
That's insane.
I've been to all these places, and look, that place is nice. It's not that nice, and I've been to all these places, and they literally stopped me and made me tuck in. Backwards hat, okay, I get that.
Why are we wearing a backwards hat? Why is it
just like when I get like lazy, like when I get sort of like
show some damn respect, Drama.
When I get like relaxed, I naturally just kind of flip my hat backward. I don't know, like I just do it. It's like a weird habit, and then untucked shirt. They made me tuck my shirt in. I had slacks on. That's fine. I almost hit an old lady with my ball. That probably wasn't good. They got mad about that. I don't know that I was like raking the bunkers properly. Either way, I wouldn't be surprised if he got an email.
No, he
like,
said
hey, the little tattooed
twice.
guy. Tell Eminem he's not welcome back.
Ding twice for the backward hat and the untucked shirt.
Yeah,
but he said amazing. You guys enjoyed a nice cigar.
Did he tell you about the cigar?
Yeah, he did.
Did he tell you about what happened?
No, it was a conversation where it was in our fantasy football chat. We talked about this a lot leading up to your round.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, I've seen some Instagrams of Drama smoking a cigar on the golf course. Are you going to offer him a cigar? This is a hosted event. Can you?
Hosted event. You have to have a cigar.
Yeah.
He bought me a cigar because of that. Because you told him. Now, here's the funny thing is, I'll just say this because he brutally beat me. It was terrible. I'm embarrassed. So I'm going to just take a minute to embarrass him. And I'll try to tell this story in a way that isn't, because it's funny to us, but I want the listener to enjoy it also. This guy got a cigar for me. Hey, I heard you smoke cigars. Great. I got one for myself too. Great. He's not a big cigar smoker, right? So he spends an entire matchbook and probably 30 minutes trying to light his cigar. Every time we stop at the balls, he's really trying to light it. Literally, I look over at one point and he's like this. And
but was your cigar lit? Or?
My cigar was lit. 2 matches. 2 matches.
Was it windy?
No, there was drool dripping off the end of his cigar. And I'm like, bro, your cigar is soaking wet. It's not going to light. And I'm not kidding you. He spent the whole back 9, which is 2 hours, lighting this cigar and probably smoked like a quarter of it. And
oh my God.
Whatever. And so there you go, Eric. You smoked me, but you couldn't smoke a cigar. We're even.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's
but
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's really good. I'm just not at that level.
So, are you ready to go to the other country clubs in LA? I know you have a lot of friends. What's your kind of pathway?
He's a big country club guy.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. Look, I understand that, my tattoos and they really don't like tattoos in those crowds.
It's funny because I randomly run across a lot of, friends from early days streetwear, and they all golf now, all of them, right? Like I'm sure you run into all these same people.
Yeah,
and they're older, they're tatted crazy.
Yep,
and they're out here golfing.
They're at Braemar.
Oh, is that Braemar allows tattoos?
Yeah, they love tattoos. Like I have heard stories of people kind of like that, like maybe that made a lot of money, but came from like our streetwear background and getting denied from, places like Bel Air or Hillcrest or whatever because of tattoos. I've heard of that happening.
So I know you met my friend Jay Brubaker on a flight.
Yeah.
And he wants to host you at Bel Air. So
yeah, he's supposed to take us.
Hopefully you have a better showing.
I definitely feel out of place, like I do got to do the tuck shirt, got to keep the hat forward. I understand I look like a hooligan in that world. In my world, nobody cares. But
it's a nice course.
And then, I'm just not that great. But I am to the point, I had one really embarrassing moment, right? Of like you just hit the ground instead of the ball and the ball goes 10 feet to the right. But other than that, I'm not embarrassingly bad. I just am not to the level yet where I could like bet. But I went to Wilshire with a guy that we all know that, fuck it, I don't think it matters, with John Buscemi. And he invited us there. I went there. This was last year. And I was I had a caddy and I was just shit. I was like, you have a caddy. That guy's there supposed to tell you like what club to use because of the slope of the fucking green. And I was just shooting balls left and right into the bushes. And that was embarrassing. I'll never do that again.
Man, Buscemi really golfs. I run into someone once a week that told me they golf with Buscemi.
Yeah, he golfs his ass off and he's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's awesome.
So anyway, we did it. Look, the secret's out. I will say Eric thinks he can beat me at boxing. And
Eric Weiss.
Yeah. Well, he thinks he can beat me up. And then I also posted a video of me like lifting, a weight. And he's like, oh, I could do that, right? And I was like, there's 0 chance. So now
I would bet good money that you would pummel Eric to the ground.
I think you kick his ass.
Yeah, just...
Speaking
of boxing,
175 pounds,
your guy, your guy, Ryan Garcia? You always talk about him.
That's not my guy. That was Anand's guy.
Yeah,
that was Anand's guy.
I'm Tank all day long.
Oh, you're Tank. Okay.
That was exactly how I thought that would play out.
Just he's a bum. He's a wimp.
Well, he's just not on that level. Tank is just like one of the best.
No, it's a rehydration. I saw Connor's post.
Oh, Jesus
I heard.
Christ.
Ryan Garcia, I know nothing about boxing. I didn't watch it. I have no idea. But everyone was like, I said in a chat, I was like, Ryan Garcia looks like a wimp.
Well, he had to lose like 30 pounds to box the match.
Well, why?
That's what Tank required. Those were his requirements.
Well, that's his problem.
And he had all these rehydration clauses. It was a sham.
No way. You're getting brainwashed. You're getting fucking brainwashed on it.
So was this a big fight?
It was probably the biggest fight since like a Mayweather prize fight.
Yeah.
And
correct.
this someone won a title.
Who cares about the title? It's just the personalities.
Okay.
I have no idea.
No,
Maybe
I actually
Drama
don't think
knows.
so. No, I don't think there was any title. It was just
So it was just a fight?
I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
just a fight.
I
It's
guess
like the
Ryan
new
would have
Jake
won
Paul-
something from
It's
Tank,
like the
but-
new Jake Paul world, right? Like you just have interesting people fight. They're
And
both
so
But I'll
interesting.
tell you,
a lot of money.
well, a lot of money. They got paid a lot of money. I'm sure that the pay-per-view was the biggest since a Mayweather fight. Anand's right. And then the reason why this one was so great and it's going to be really hard to beat these numbers is because Anand's kind of right in the sense of like, it's like the new Jake Paul world, except for like, they're both real fighters. I mean, Tank is literally, arguably the best of that weight class. And Ryan, even though he's huge on social media and he's like pretty boy, he is a real boxer. Like, he definitely was very dangerous. He could beat a lot of good people, but he's just not to that level. But the fact that you have this massive like social media guy with all of his hype, and then you have like kind of the guy from the rough upbringing covered in tattoos and all of his hype, and here's the clash.
Are they American, both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Baltimore and LA.
Ryan Garcia's LA?
LA area, maybe East LA.
But here's the
Ventura? What?
Does Eric know?
Victorville.
Oh, wow.
There you go. There
That's
you go.
not LA.
there you
Victorville.
go.
That's
He
on the way
claims
to
LA.
Big Bear. That's on the
claims
way to
LA.
Big Bear.
So here are my kind of checkpoints of how big the fight was. Brian Toll and John Turgeon were both there.
Yeah.
They went to the fight.
They went to the fight.
Did they?
And Delilah had a private buyout with
Oh, wow.
Jimmy Fallon performing,
Yeah.
which we saw on Instagram. It was a big
Post
deal.
fight. That was like fight connected, right?
Yeah.
Wow, Brian went to the fight. Good for him.
It's
But
huge.
my point is like those guys won't show up unless it's important.
Yeah. That's
yeah,
fair.
yeah, no, it's
I
huge.
thought Brian
It's-
was a Ryan Garcia guy.
He was.
He was.
I'm a Garcia guy too. Maybe he switched.
I would switch. You can't
You
be
gotta
a
switch.
loser.
Just pull the D and, on the way out, switch.
Yeah, someone
But-
asked me today at the
If-
kids thing, oh, you watch the fight? I'm like, yeah, I love Tank.
Yeah, I've been with Tank
And they're
since
like,
day
yeah, me
one.
too. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
That's fine.
Yeah.
But it was clearly a moment in Vegas because
Yeah.
Vegas is always, fight night Vegas from like that Mike Tyson era is
Yeah.
still the biggest thing. Like people
It's so
love
cool.
fighting.
yeah, so I actually had to ask some friends because I know nothing about boxing
Yeah.
and I watched the replay 10 times and I was
Yeah.
like, how did he just go down? And then
Yeah.
someone told me it was a liver shot and that's what happens in boxing,
Yeah.
which
Like, I don't want to bore anybody and be fucking boxing dude here, but essentially, if you hit someone in the actual liver, it causes an actual like central nervous system response that
Yeah, to your
drops your
brain,
heart
right?
rate instantly. Yes, it drops
Yeah.
your blood pressure instantly. It feels like you're going to puke. It feels like you're paralyzed, like there's shock waves going through your body. You literally can't stand up even if you wanted to, and it's really hard to breathe. And so what happens is a lot of times it doesn't hit you until you take the next breath in. So you get hit, you go, "Ugh," you back up, and then you go, and then it hits you and you collapse. And so if you
Big
actually watch
boxing guy here.
yeah,
the
he's a big
funniest
boxing guy.
the funniest clip is you can see Tank hit him with the body shot, and then Tank goes, because he knows he got him. He sees by Ryan's
Oh, wow.
reaction even before he drops. He's like, "Oh, I got you," and then he goes down. And so I do feel bad kind of for Ryan because like I know a lot of people are like, "What? Like that wasn't even that strong of a shot," but it's like it's a physiological response that you can't.
So he got
control.
lucky. Tank got lucky. I'm Team Garcia.
No, hell no. That was a fucking perfectly. That was better than. Look,
What do you mean? What you just explained is like.
All right, let's move on. No one cares about boxing. No one
But to
wants
hit
it.
somebody, so look, you hit someone
Boxing's
anywhere on
stupid.
the head, you can knock them out. That has to be perfectly placed to hit your liver. That's all. That's why. And you're much more
Your
likely
guy's
to
a
guard that.
loser, okay? That's it. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
look, he
gonna
lost.
get
It's
a
not the
rematch.
He's a bum.
He's a
Hydration.
bum.
Drink
Put
some
him up
liquid
against
IV,
Jake
you
Paul.
pussy. Get out of here.
Stop.
You know
with
what's
the weight restrictions.
You know what's
Hydration.
fight
Hydration.
adjacent?
No.
Did you guys,
Hydration.
Tank's
There's
the
like
one
my
that
liquid
said.
IV.
No, Tank
Hydration.
said you can't be hydrated.
You can't have water.
No,
but they
you
both
can't.
had the same. They both had the same thing. They both had
You
to weigh in
can't
at
have
135, and
this
then they
is
both had to
stupid.
be no more than 10 pounds over the next day. It's not really that uncommon. It's a little bit of a move, but it's not that crazy in boxing. Did you guys see
This guy
that
could
Nate
have some
Diaz?
salt.
Nate Diaz choked out a guy that he
A
thought
random,
was
like
Logan
a random
Paul.
person. Yeah, I saw that. That's good.
And then like the guy's head bashed against the sidewalk. That's probably not good, but that was pretty cool. That was some fight stuff. That's who
good
Jake
content.
Paul's fighting, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But you
Well.
can't choke people out in boxing. So, anywho,
All right.
all right, it's Coachella time. It's Sunday night. That means Frank Ocean's about to perform. Oh, I mean Blink 182.
Well, for the audience,
Fred again.
Blink 182 is way fucking better than Frank Ocean could ever be. Nobody knows the words to any Frank Ocean songs.
That's fake news. That's such fake news.
He's a bum.
Wow.
He's
Drama's calling him.
Blink 182.
Nobody knows
to
the words to Frank Ocean at Coachella is the wildest thing I've ever heard. Now, not showing up, putting on a bad show, I'm with you on that. But they don't know who Frank
Let
Ocean
me tell
is.
you, when all the small things play at Coachella, 100% of the kids will be singing that song. No one's listening to anything
You
Frank
think
Ocean.
a 21-year-old
Oh,
knows
my
the
God.
words?
I guarantee you, if you play a Blink, and you know the top 3 Blink songs, a 15-year-old knows that.
You think at Coachella, the top 3 Blink songs are more people would sing along than the top 3 Frank Ocean songs?
100%.
Oh my God, you are
Not
out
even
of
close.
your mind. Frank
Everyone is-
Ocean?
Frank Ocean doesn't do anything. He does nothing.
Yeah,
He doesn't
that's the
perform.
point.
He does nothing. He's
And
a
it
fake
works.
person.
And they still
the-
love it. He has like 10
Nah.
songs and fucking
it's-
people treat him like he's Prince.
No, he's. You
It's
know what
cool
Frank
to like
Ocean is?
Frank Ocean.
Is a disgusting disgrace to professional musicians. That's
oh my
what he
gosh. I mean, look, I
Yes.
don't think that I think that what
is.
he
You get
did
paid
at Coachella,
$26 million and you can't fucking show up?
that's how much it
Fuck
was.
that. He got paid. Dude, I think
26.
13 million each night.
Yeah, that's a rumor.
That's
13
absurd.
each week.
I'm sorry. You're a professional. I don't care about anything else. Fucking Axl Rose's old ass at Coachella, broken ass leg performed. Axl Rose.
I agree
You
with
know
you on that part. I agree
what's
with you on that. I just
crazy
think
is-
you're being a little mean.
Well,
No,
of course I have to be
no,
mean.
no.
Now I got to dunk all over him because it's
So-
embarrassing.
You know what's insane? Florence and the Machine. We went, whatever, this is probably 4 or 5 years ago. She broke her leg on set the first weekend. The second weekend, she did it on a stool. She didn't quit.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, I remember
We've all
that. I
seen
remember
Michael
that.
Jordan with the flu, with the game.
Yeah,
It's
Kobe
great.
with the
Like,
Achilles. Yeah.
Kobe's
Yeah.
Achilles. This is not like it's unacceptable.
I 100% think it's unacceptable, but I think it's cool for the youth. I honestly think Frank Ocean quitting makes
Oh,
the
it
youth
helps
think
him.
he's cooler.
Yes, that's true. Quitting's cool.
I mean,
Who wants to work?
if anyone listening to this podcast that thinks quitting is cool is a loser.
I
He was
agree
quiet
with you,
quitting.
but
We've
I'm
talked
telling
about
you,
it. It's a trend.
No, like that
Frank
is
Ocean just quiet quit Coachella.
I mean, the fact that so many people spent like hard-earned money to
I
go
agree.
see him and
I
not
agree.
show up is disgusting. It's literally disgusting.
We agree
By the
with
way, he said, "Oh, I fractured my leg." Fuck you. No one wants to see you dance. Sit on a goddamn chair and sing your goddamn songs.
That's what Florence did.
Yesterday, by the way, last weekend, did you end up going to the show?
No.
No.
We didn't catch up. So I was on a flight and my flight got delayed. So I was on the plane.
Oh,
I
yeah.
found some random girl on TikTok and I watched
Yep.
her live stream.
That girl's
okay?
famous now.
Famous. She had 200,000 people
Yeah,
streaming
she's doing
it.
interviews with like the New York Times all week. She's famous
No
now.
way.
Yes.
Okay. So I watched the stream. I could not believe how bad it was
Yeah.
because I was watching live streaming the
That's
whole
fair.
weekend.
That's all fair. And he also blocked Coachella from streaming. I believe he did. I don't know this for a fact, but it was one of the only sets that wasn't streaming because we didn't go. We were at home and we're like, oh, let's all just have like a Frank Ocean fucking viewing party. And we found out 5 minutes before that his set wasn't streaming.
So I'm not a Frank Ocean fan. I don't care if he ever plays again. I don't give a shit. You are a fan of his music. You like the
This is
ocean.
where I sit. I like him. I think he has some great music. Look, I was 3 miles down the road and I didn't go. So that shows you how big of a fan I really am. But I do think that, the fact that he like never performs, he never puts out albums. He's just like elusive character. I think it's, but
it's not,
I think it's interesting.
It's not intentional. He's just lazy. He's a lazy human being.
I think he has like some, mental health.
Don't
like
take
some
$26 million.
Yeah,
mental health, my ass. I'm sorry. I'm done with this mental health shit.
Yeah, don't
take $26 million.
That's right.
I agree with you on that.
Hey, you know what? I don't feel this is the healthiest thing for me. I'm canceling it. Yeah. That's fine. Do that. I'm good with that. Justin Bieber cancels his tours all the fucking time. He goes, you know what?
Cancels
and then he
more
gets
than he
sued
makes.
and he fucking pays the fine and moves on.
Here's the like kind of larger point is, can Coachella bank on any star going forward?
Keep in mind, Kanye did this too, remember?
100%. Every other star, 99% of the show performed. It's just this one guy. He's just don't book artists like him.
Kanye did it.
Yeah,
remember
sure.
Kanye did like 3 days before?
I think this is actually going to kind of compound, meaning I think you're going to have the next young artist.
You know why
who
it
gets
won't?
Call it 15 million, not
no,
26.
You know why? They're going to bankrupt Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean's going to be living in an apartment after tonight. Apartment. He's going to be living in an apartment in fucking in Victorville.
They're just going to what? They're going to take half? Garcia. What are they going to do?
No, they're going to sue the shit out of him. It's unacceptable.
I agree it's unacceptable, but
it's also like you can't.
But my
I'm telling
point
you,
is,
the press of Coachella sues Frank Ocean to the gills won't happen.
I mean, we've heard, like, we can just say this, like, we heard Coachella wanted Justin Bieber to headline. They knew that he would cancel, so they don't book him.
That's fine. They knew that though. Don't book.
So who's the next young guy that's gonna
don't book young guys anymore? Book Blink. They showed up and they crushed.
But Kanye just did it. He's old.
I mean, and by the way, Kanye doesn't perform anymore. When was the last time you saw a Kanye West concert?
Well, now he's Yeah,
that's my point. Is that like I just think that like
I think it's also acceptable in society that if you're a young star and you just do a post saying like I'm not mentally fit.
No one else at Coachella canceled. How many performances happened in 2 weekends? 100? 200? 0?
Yeah, I think that's true.
Only one person canceled. Only one guy.
Plus Frank is like, I think they took a risk.
That's
of
Sunday night. We all know Sunday night's the biggest night, and he canceled. How can you bank on the next Sunday night?
I think they took a risk of like Frank is the ungettable guy, and we're gonna get him because I think wasn't he scheduled for like 2020 or something, the first year of COVID?
Yeah, that was the pandemic year. Yeah.
So that like I think that everyone knows he's ungettable. I think the hype around it like was insane. Everyone I talked to was like, this might be the last time he ever performs. Even the people who watched him perform last Sunday are like, I think I saw his last show probably. Like and I think Coachella tried to get it.
By the way, I'm okay if he never performs again. If he says this is not right for me, that's fine. But like, this is a business. It costs so many people so much money. So many kids saved up all their money.
Yeah, that's true. Can the ticket goers say class action lawsuit?
They should. Then they'll teach all the artists a lesson. Yeah. I think it's so unfair for the fans.
I agree.
I think it's unfair.
I mean, it's the same with sports, right? The NBA. No one plays.
Yeah, Kawhi.
The people who got boned are the fans. Because really, like Coachella made the money. I'm not saying they shouldn't also, claw back or whatever, but like they made their money. It's the fans who like book plane tickets from Iowa, and this was their one.
London. I know, but like, people come from all over.
True.
Yeah, it's like literally insane.
I just think it's so like. It's so disrespectful because I mean, as someone that loves Coachella, these kids, I know if I started going to Coachella like mid-20s, very different, but I was like 18 and my favorite artist just bailed.
Yeah, I agree.
That's so fucking ridiculous.
I agree. I just think that saying more people would sing along with Blink-182 than Frank Ocean is ridiculous. I think you took it too far.
But I also think this is going to keep happening.
I actually don't. I just want to say, I think that he might encourage a couple little ones, but I don't think so. I think most people show up and do their jobs. Bieber is known to do it. I think Kanye, everyone knows, is a loose cannon. Everyone knows Frank is the worst.
So you're talking about the three biggest celebrities in the world.
Drake's never going to do it.
Future, like Blackpink ain't doing it.
Drake's not doing it.
Future, Florence, BTS, Bad Bunny, Florence, The Killers, The Oasis, whatever. Like
The Weeknd would never do it. Like we're like there's all these people that would never.
What are you talking about? He walked out of a concert
because he couldn't sing. He physically could not sing.
That was different. That was okay.
that was different.
Come on, a world tour. He was sick. Come on.
But he's making up all the dates.
He made it up. That wasn't the same.
By the way, Taylor Swift, she ain't doing.
Taylor's a beast.
Yes.
That's why she's there. She's showing up if you pay her $100 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it'll spread. I do think, Anand, there are probably some young artists who are just coming up who unfortunately are getting some really bad sort of guidance right now because they see that and they think, oh, I'm going to do that. But like no one gives a fuck about them. And so you can't get away with that. Yeah. And I think that there's some young artists that think that that's really cool. And like they want to emulate that Frank Ocean style. And that does not work for anyone except for those three artists that we just named. I think that will happen. But I don't think there'll be like a spree of like big acts at Coachella bailing. Most people are on their shit.
Yeah. And by the way, like, isn't Coachella's part of AEG, right?
Yeah.
I mean, their lawyers are going to fucking sue the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
They're not going to let anyone slide. They're just not. I can't. They may not sue them. They could say, just give us back you did one weekend, which you did horribly. You give a 50% break on that one, and then you're going to refund us all for the second weekend.
Yeah,
right. Because they had to pay Skrillex and Fred again, and Blink
again.
Fred again. I want Frank again, not Fred again.
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
So you're not happy.
I'm not even a fan of him. But it was just gross that you would do that.
But I can tell when someone gets written off into like the D, like, you're a clown bucket. That's where Frank's living right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't blame
frankly,
you.
I was excited to watch him.
Quite frankly.
Frankly Ocean. I sat and watched the live stream and I was excited. I was like, wait, is this guy not singing half the songs?
Yeah.
He didn't sing them.
And he was like behind the monitor.
And then there was like a stage. I was just like, what? Is this a joke? I literally thought it was like an SNL parody of Coachella.
Yeah.
It was really, really kind of like, I found it disrespectful. That's what
it is disrespectful. It is absolutely disrespectful. And I think it's like even at a minimum, like even accept it, even let them announce it and cancel it 4 months ago. Like just showing up and just doing a bad job and kind of hiding and then canceling the second weekend. I'm
even down with a week earlier. Cancel it. Let's go book the
Fred
old
again.
Let's go book like our old white rock bands that we know will show up and crush the show. Yeah, just go get those old guys. Go get Aerosmith. Let them crush it.
Yep.
And everyone would be happy and no one would say a thing.
So who are the under 25 stars that you think could headline Coachella?
Under 25.
Under 25. I'm curious if they'll show up.
Spotify.
I mean, besides who was this weekend?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I don't know. How old's Morgan Wallen? I think he should headline Coachella.
He'll show up.
Yeah, he'll show up. He'll get 13 million.
He'll show up.
He's the farthest thing from
number one song, Morgan Wallen. He's showing up. Drake showing up.
Obviously, Drake showing up.
He's not
Miley. I'm going down the Billboard Hot 100. Miley Cyrus.
Maybe. I mean, Drake's 35.
Yeah.
He's not young.
But Miley might not show up. I would say 50-50. SZA showing up. Metro Boomin pretty much owned Coachella. Selena Gomez, probably not.
Yeah.
The Weeknd and Ariana Grande both showing up.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift showing up. Coily Ray. Let me just say, I'm probably butchering her name, but she performed at Revolve. It was excellent. She's a great performer.
Ice Spice?
Coily Ray.
Yeah, she's really good.
Harry Styles showing up. He already did
Harry
it.
Styles is definitely showing up.
I shitted on Harry Styles last year at Coachella, and I'm a huge fan now. I take it all back.
Wow.
I mean, he's a superstar.
No, I know, but his music is actually really fucking good.
And he influenced all the fashion this year. at
That's what we
Coachella.
hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, look, Sam Smith. Okay, I'll give you one. Lil Uzi Vert could very likely to bail. Right?
Yeah. No, I don't
He
feel
seems like he shows up.
Yeah, he seems like a
He was
professional
at
guy.
Rock Nation brunch.
Okay, there you go. So
I
if
saw-
Little Uzi Vert is showing up, then we're good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Lady Gaga
I think
there, Beyonce there, Ed Sheeran, everyone
I
else.
mean,
is,
they need to get over this Travis Scott thing. Book Travis will be the greatest thing.
Yeah, next
Is that-
year's gonna be interesting. They have to.
Lil Baby showing
I think
up.
they have to actually come with some heat next year.
I mean, think about this. Like, once again, I don't know the numbers, but like Blackpink to me is like obscure. Bad Bunny, I get it. You know, one of the biggest in the world, but not sure it's really Coachella. And then you had Frank. In my opinion,
So-
Frank is as Coachella gets, and he bailed.
You know
And
what's
so, like-
interesting? So Anthony and AJ, they all went on Friday night for
Yeah.
Bad Bunny or whatever. They went for the whole night. And I asked Anthony, I was like, did Bad Bunny tank the way he did the week before? Because he did tank. And he's like, the problem is no one knows his music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I said this earlier. We live in America. You have to have artists that speak the language for people to sing along.
But especially
And
when
that
everyone's
is-
together. Like
Yes.
Bad Bunny
Yeah.
can sell out an arena, and so can Blackpink. But those aren't the same people. And
No.
so can, let's say, Beyonce. I don't think Frank could, but let's say Beyonce. But those aren't the same people. So now,
No.
like when you're doing a festival, you need something that everybody there like knows.
Yeah, and we can leave on the Coachella thing, but there's been a few times in my Coachella experience where I just like turn my head and I'm like, who is that? Like that like literally musically sounds amazing.
yeah.
And I remember vividly walking, I think we were all walking together throughout the main stage field, and I heard Mumford and Sons for the first time. I think they were headlining.
That's what I was going to say. They headlined. I remember that year.
And I've never heard of the Mumford and Sons at that point.
Yes.
And I looked at the stage and I was like, that is the most beautiful sound
Yes.
I've ever heard.
Like, are those
Who
banjos?
are these people? I'm like, and then literally the next day, I mean, this morning, taking my kids to baseball, we were listening to Mumford and Sons. And that's
Yes.
because I turned my head, I don't know, what was that, 10 years ago
Yes.
at Coachella. And like those types of acts. And the reality is it's, this is just a function of like what's more like forever type music. It is kind of classic rock, kind of plays the test of time.
And I also think EDM.
I don't know if EDM does.
I mean, I
But
heard
even-
Calvin Harris
even
was
like-
the biggest.
Even
thing
like
on the
Dr. Dre,
planet.
like even 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, like you can count on that. That's like the new
Yeah.
classic rock. They
Yeah.
did well.
yeah. No. Look, I think classic rap always works. And I think
Yeah.
classic rock works. I think a lot of the other music is more like in the moment. Like Bad Bunny is the sound of the moment. It's not like I would be shocked if you heard Bad Bunny 10 years from now and this exact
I
sound of
think
Bad Bunny
what you're
is still
describing
popular.
is two different
Yeah.
things, right? So if Bad Bunny can sell out SoFi,
Yeah.
right? Obviously, he has enough fans, he could sell out SoFi. Coachella, people are going to Coachella for like a feeling in a moment,
Yeah.
and that's not the feeling.
No.
I
Right,
also
you wanna
kind of
sing-
feel.
You want to
Yeah.
sing along.
Wonder who performs at like, does Morgan Wallen perform at Stagecoach or it's smaller than that?
Yeah. I mean, I looked at Stagecoach. He's not at,
Who's the
Right.
headliner?
the usual country big stars.
Like Garth Brooks or something?
No. I
He's
forgot.
too
Like
big.
Luke Bryan or something like that.
Okay, let me ask you this. I feel like Coachella is in no way over, is in no way going downhill necessarily. Like, I'm not saying any of those things, but I'm saying that
No, of
I
course
think
not.
what Coachella meant when we were going versus what it means to young people now is less or getting less. That's just a feeling I have, but I don't know if that's just because I'm not young anymore or
I think I agree with you. We're around of young people. We all know enough young people.
No, but it's still, it matters.
It matters. It matters for the weekend.
it
but-
matters. But is it the same? Like, I feel like there's so many festivals. Like, it just felt to me like kind of random this year. It felt Blackpink and Bad Bunny and then Frank Shit Show and then, a lot of random artists. And I don't know, I was asking as many people as I could, young people all the time. And it just sort of felt like, yeah, Coachella, I don't know. Like, whereas it used to be like Coachella, like here is the lineup. Are you going? I'm going to go. Oh my God, Dr. Dre. I heard there's going to be a Tupac hologram. Oh, but maybe I'm just biased because fucking that's when I was, more in the loop.
I agree. I think it's more that we're biased. We're old. It still meant a lot for the people that went. Both weekends oversold. They were, monster weekends. I think Coachella as an experience is bigger than ever. It's just that the music there. Like I would be hard pressed to believe that 10 years from now, let's assume, when do you think Mumford and Sons were? 10 years ago?
It was, I'm 30. It was 12 years ago.
No way.
Yeah. 20, hold on, 26. No. Yeah, 10 years ago.
Okay, let's assume it's 10 years ago.
Yep.
If you played Mumford and Sons, to people that went to Coachella 10 years ago, it's still relevant music.
Yes.
I would be hard pressed to believe 10 years from now, Bad Bunny and Blackpink are relevant music. I actually don't think they would be relevant at all 10 years from now.
Look, I think probably a lot of people, I guess, would be pissed, but I agree.
Yeah, I think that things also kind of happen
cycle
quicker.
out faster.
Right? Yeah, cycle out faster. Like every half-life is quicker.
Yeah.
As time goes quicker, technology, everything, and you just find the next artist.
Yeah.
It looks like 2011, guys.
Fuck.
And think about the mediums, right? 12 years ago, we only had a handful of places to discover music.
Yeah.
Now you have Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube. You have like 10x the distribution.
That was 2011.
Yeah, maybe I'm just old grumpy, but I'll be shocked if those two artists are relevant 10 years
I
from
also don't think you're going to have artists that are that concentrated at scale in 10 years.
Well, I mean, look, Taylor Swift and Drake are still huge.
Yeah, but they've been huge for 10 years.
Yeah, so you don't think a new
I
artist...
don't think... Who's a new artist that can be at scale like those two?
Bad Bunny.
He's probably the newest.
Yeah.
Then who's next?
Like Pink.
Not
or
happening.
BTS. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be a function of demographics too. Like Bad Bunny is a function of demographics.
I mean, all you gotta do is look. I mean, it's just not in our world. But Morgan Wallen is selling out SoFi Stadium
in LA. That's nuts that he's selling out SoFi.
Well, we also.
So what's funny is someone, this guy Jackson, friend, he listens to the pod. He messaged me and he said he lives in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I think I posted in our chat. He said, "There's nothing bigger on earth than Morgan Wallen."
I believe it.
That is life.
Yeah,
Morgan Wallen is life.
I totally believe it.
And
he is
yeah.
all over this Billboard Hot 100.
And I think like the more and more people I talk to that are outside of like the big cities, there's nothing bigger than Morgan Wallen.
That's true. I mean, the numbers prove it. So that's just an example of like, and he's relatively new, So maybe you'll have less.
How old is Morgan Wallen?
Give me 1 second. He is 29.
Well, he's young.
Oh.
Yep.
So he's the new Drake.
He's middle America. I mean, he's rest of the country Drake. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in the rest of the country, Morgan Wallen is bigger than Drake.
SoFi in LA is nuts.
I mean, and the prices must be insane. I can't imagine what the prices are for a SoFi concert.
And I'll just tell you, like, I'm just scrolling Billboard Hot 100 as we're having this conversation. Obviously, Drake didn't just put out music. Morgan Wallen did, obviously. But like, Drake's at number 2, Morgan Wallen's number 1. And then like Morgan Wallen is on this Hot 100 like 12 times. Like, it's fucking wild.
He's the new Drake.
I've been saying, I said it last week. I said this is the biggest star in the world is Morgan Wallen.
I love too that he was just, I mean, like, I don't think anyone should be canceled unless you do something horrendous, like really, really, I don't know, whatever, maybe I'll get canceled for saying this, but like the guy had a pretty good reason to be canceled.
Yeah.
And like he just soared right through it.
You know what's interesting?
It also actually proves that social media is so fake about what actually matters in the country.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't even see Morgan Wallen anywhere.
On TikTok, nothing.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, none of it.
Well, you know, I'm sure if you're into that music, you get played.
Okay, fine. But it's
so
not
what's funny is
not in, like,
a few months ago, I just like, I want to hear this Morgan Wallen guy. I started listening to music. I get it. It's just like,
oh, it's great.
It's basic,
super simple. It's like Taylor Swift country. Like it's like
yes. It's just like like you know when I listen to like this is going to be very boomer of me. When I listen to rap now, it's so fucking vulgar. As I say, fucking vulgar. It's so vulgar.
Yeah, but fucking is child's play compared to what's in there.
I mean, new rap is unlistenable.
It's so bad, and it's so like, I don't know. Eric, you're in the clubs. What are you playing?
Old shit.
Hey, Eric, can I real quick, did you hear D say that more people at Coachella would sing along with Blink than Frank? What's your take here?
I mean, obviously they announced Frank, so a lot of people went for him. So I disagree with D for that reason.
Maybe in like a random crowd.
No, I said people would sing Frank. Frank has hits, bro. Like, you know, you might not listen to him, but I mean, he has a lot of big records.
All the small things. Everyone knows that song.
That's true. It's true.
Ari, do you know that song?
Yes,
of course he does. It's like the most classic.
I mean, I love it. I'm just saying.
90s.
20 years younger than us,
we're old.
Cheers.
We're old. Those kids are old. Okay, well, look, we'll see. We'll see what the future is. You know who should headline Coachella? Jerry Lorenzo.
Holy shit.
I mean, this guy took over the Hollywood Bowl for a fashion show. This is one of the wildest. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, LA is, you know, not the center of fashion, but the center of
culture.
Whatever. Culture. I don't want to get fucking in trouble here, but like a really big place for culture and streetwear culture and all that shit. And nobody's thought to do this. Like when he did this, it seemed like, somebody like, wow, that was genius. Somebody should have thought of that. The guy took over Hollywood Bowl and did a fucking runway show.
So D went.
I went to the show and I went by myself. I live a mile away from there, not even. Parked my car, and funny story, got kind of cut off by Caleb Williams, the Heisman Trophy winner of USC.
Nice.
Wow.
I'm like, all right, go, bro. You're cutting me off. Just go. And then he was hanging out with our friend Ross Walker.
Okay.
They're about to go stand in the 4,000 person line to get into this thing. They're like, oh, where are you going? I'm like, I'm walking to the front. And they're like, well, do you have some? I was like, no, I'm just going to walk to the front. Like,
I got the juice.
And
I hate lines. I'm just going for it.
Yeah. I have no juice. I have confidence. That's what it is.
Confidence is more important than juice.
Yeah. I had no juice. Bear in mind, I was by myself. But then when I had the Heisman Trophy winner, I was like, we got some juice. Let's go. Come on, Caleb. So we walk up.
I don't know this story.
Yeah. So we were walking up and they were going to go stand in line. And I was like, no, come on, let's go. So we walk up all the way to the front. So we don't have to wait in line. It's a walk up.
And so what was the catalyst to get you in? Was it Caleb Williams? Was it you?
No, it was just physical.
Just confidence. It's
No
just that
one
a bunch
said
of
anything.
idiots just follow the line because you're supposed to. And they're just like, well, I guess here's the line. And I think sometimes, not all the time, you just waltz on up to the front and
yeah, I just said, I was just shaking hands on the line. Yeah, what up?
Hey,
boom,
Heisman,
front of the
Heisman.
line. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it doesn't always work, but great job.
Yeah. Because I had no idea what it was. I didn't know if it was going to be. Hollywood Bowl, by the way, holds like 17,000 people.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't know if 17,000 people were invited or 500 people. So when there was a line, I was a little bit surprised. Whatever, we walk in. start seeing basically everyone that I've seen in fashion for the last, 20 years. And it was really cool. One, it felt like you're in Paris because the way people were dressed. Like,
that's cool.
One, like, it looked like people were from the future. Like, long coats. It was like very Matrix.
Yep.
Nice.
And so that was kind of cool. Just seeing people dressed up in LA. You don't see people dressed up in LA. Most of the time it's just like t-shirts, hoodies, like whatever. So people were dressed up. It was really cool. We're waiting, running into friends, whatever. And then you finally they opened it up and everyone sat down. So I went to go sit down, and I had my seat assignment. No one was sitting next to me. 0 people. So how Hollywood Bowl has the boxes?
Yep.
In my box, there was nobody.
Why'd you invite us?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't know who was gonna. I figured I was just like, in a box with other people. Like, Alfred Chang, who's now the CEO of Fear of God, invited me. And so I figured maybe I'd be with his wife, his family, whatever. 0 people next to me.
Maybe he was anticipating you'd invite Drama and I.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Interesting. Really interesting.
Why is there an empty box?
Yeah.
It was. I'm sure he'll bring his friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just shows up
empty
alone.
box. So finally, after seeing all our friends, I go sit down, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I prefer, I don't want to be next to a stranger. It's great. No one showed up. It's just me. So I'm observing, because it's like, if it felt like a very big.
Are they serving the wine and the cheese and all that?
No, because you could grab champagne when you walk in. It was like a 10-minute sit down and the show started. And it was like just observing who was around you. Like Kyle, Miguel, Jared Leto. It was like, very cool. Everyone was dressed really nicely. And the show starts, and an artist named, I think pronounced Sampha, performed on piano. It was like, it sounded amazing. Incredible. Fashion show started, and it's incredible. Like the way they had the visuals, the sound, and the Hollywood Bowl, like they literally took over the middle of the garden box area to let the runway go. So it was like pretty epic. And the sound really like dictated the whole night. Playing a lot of like they played Blood on the Leaves, from the Kanye album. And it was very much like Kanye inspired, which I was like, I actually thought that was kind of cool, because like kind of playing homage to like the guy that put you on.
Start. Yeah,
the guy that put you on. So I appreciated that. I thought that was really respectful. And I heard he was there, actually. Kanye was there.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So Kanye was in the audience, and then Pusha T came out at the end and did that Kid Cudi Kanye song, and did a verse from that was kind of custom tailored for the night.
Okay.
Talking about fear of God and essentials. And this just the whole night, like seeing Jerry Lorenzo 20 years ago as a marketing rep for Matt Kemp, bringing him into our office, and then starting Fear of God.
And running clubs in LA.
Yeah, being like an enormous nightlife personality in LA. And then basically like, I mean, I don't think people, if you don't follow fashion, essentials is basically supreme. Not in the sense of like, oh, does it sell out and it's like a different hype. In terms of scale, it's worth multi-billion dollars.
Yep.
In terms of what he's built. And I kind of like I literally had goosebumps, because I was like, fuck, dude, I saw this guy build this business, Fear of God. I remember vividly on 3rd Street in LA at it used to be called Little Next Door. I was sitting at the edge, and Jerry walked by with a long t-shirt. Like it was extended then. And I was like, man, that's a long ass t-shirt. What's he doing with that? And he's like, "Oh, this is my new line." And I remember talking to my friend I was with. And I was like, "Man, that shirt's long."
Yeah.
And then like it was like a like a metallic he had done his remix version of it, and I was like, wow, okay, cool. Like I didn't know anything about what he was doing. The brand, you started seeing it everywhere, and then it was Fear of God, and then he partners with PacSun and launched Essentials. I would argue Essentials is the most popular brand for young people in America by far. Like, there's nothing I see more than Essentials, period, point blank.
But you know what's cool is, so we've been in this bubble for our entire adulthood, so 20 plus years. And everyone has a hustle. Everyone's trying to make it. And a lot of people have.
Yeah.
And he seems to be the person that kind of did it at a scale that no one else has.
No, yeah. He's on another level.
And which is pretty cool to see that, like, the hustle and bustle in LA, you can actually make it. And he's the, like, kind of pinnacle of it.
Yeah, I would argue he's like the poster child of, like,
because he didn't have, obviously he had to meet Kanye. Kanye had to put him on. He had to do like all the steps.
And he had to actually be creative for Kanye to actually even give a fuck what he had to say.
No, which I think is a testament to him, but it's cool that we got to see it from start to now, wherever it's going to go.
Yeah. And he, when he walked out at the end of the fashion show, I was like, man, this is insane. Like I was thinking about myself. I had goosebumps. I was like, this is it. He is like, he did it.
And for context, because people who don't live in LA, he was the guy that you would see outside the club to let you in.
Yeah.
And now he's walking out of a fashion show at the Hollywood Bowl.
Which is insane.
Like, think about that
context.
Juxtaposition.
Yeah. And now, as we know, like, he has Fear of God. He has Fear of God Essentials. He has Fear of God Athletics with Adidas. It's a multi-billion-dollar company.
No, it's awesome to see the scent, and we got to witness it kind of firsthand.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. Like, it just shows that, like, go ahead.
Well, just quick before you do that, what year do you think he started Fear of God? Like, how long has this journey been?
Oh, at least 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, when you saw him with that tall tee, do you think it was probably 15 years ago?
Probably.
Yeah, probably 12.
He was wearing the skirts 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, was it before Mumford & Sons or after?
I think it was like 2013, 2012, 2013.
Okay, so 10, 11 years ago.
10 years ago.
Okay. And sorry, D, what was your wrap up there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just shows that, like, anything is actually possible. Because he's a prime example of, like, he's obviously very hardworking, very creative, and he's actually, like, a very fucking nice person. Like, throughout the journey, it's like a lot of people who aren't at his level were never as nice as he was. And so, he deserves it. He did it. He did, like, I would say, like, in fashion, kind of the impossible. It's literally impossible to do what he did.
I agree with that.
It's to be at the scale, like, you don't understand. Like, I'm in planes all day. All I see is Essentials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I think it's actually, he did.
Like, I don't see Supreme when I hop on a plane.
I don't even see Supreme anymore anywhere.
No, I mean, I see it in New York. I see it in LA. I see it on Fairfax. I see it on the Cool Kids.
Mav has so many essentials.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. He's in
saying.
essentials every day.
Yeah, exactly. It's essential.
You know who that blueprint is really open for is Rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Coachella, I mean, obviously different crowd, and Rude is very expensive, but, like, it was all Rude.
Oh yeah. I mean,
we talked about
rude.
this.
No manners.
You weren't on the last pod.
So rude.
But Drama was saying how Luigi kind of brought out the most excitement when he showed up for celebrities.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to take a picture with them. Everyone wanted a moment with Luigi. And of all the brands, I saw Rude the most at Revolve.
Yeah.
And he might be next.
Like, if you can figure out, like, an essentials type thing, because it's so hard to do. And you have to have that early, like, massive Fear of God was big from the beginning when it was a $5 million, $10 million company. It was very passionate. Like every athlete was wearing it. And I think Rude has that now. But yeah, it's insane. I mean, I'll be honest, like, I know that Essentials is huge. I know Fear of God is still huge. But when I saw that Hollywood Bowl thing with like the massive screen above them and the sky, like I was just like, what the fuck? Like that was so next level. That looked like something Louis Vuitton would do or something,
Yeah, like it was interesting. Like in the last week, I'm not a guy that ever gets inspired. Like it's just like nothing excites me. It's sad. It's
the quote, I'm not a guy that ever gets inspired. It's really funny.
But it's funny is that in the last week, I actually got inspired by two things. One was the Fear of God show, like going there, seeing it live. I was like, fuck, this is so cool. Like at the scale that he did it, seeing it someone from ground up, phenomenal. The other was I was listening on the way here, the All In podcast about the SpaceX launch, and there was two guys. I don't know who they were.
Gavin Baker and Antonio Garcia Martinez.
Okay, they were talking about the importance of the launch that happened this weekend. Obviously, it exploded.
Yeah.
But like 20 years of work, 5 years of people living in like the desert to build in Mexico to build something that basically will put humanity on Mars.
Yep.
And I was like, fuck, that's like real passion, real excitement, real energy.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a very fascinating conversation because they actually talked about it. It's basically like the comparison of what the mainstream media is like SpaceX, launches and explodes. Like, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. And then they were able to articulate how it was actually like an engineering feat to even get the thing up.
Yeah.
And who cares if it explodes? Because we did the first step.
Yeah, now we get the next step.
Yeah. And I thought they did an amazing job of explaining it, and you guys should all listen to it.
I mean, I never listened to podcasts with my kids just because I don't know if they'd care and whatever.
But Dom likes space.
We listened to that podcast together, and he was glued to it.
Yeah.
Really?
Because he literally was like, what are they talking about? And I explained to him, I like literally paused it, explained to him, and he was like, okay, press play again. He was fascinated.
And you know what's crazy? Because they explained it in a way that I've never been.
It was so easy to understand.
And they explained how you can eliminate kind of freight cargo.
Yeah. And travel.
And travel, everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. And had I just like went on the New York Times and listened to, whoever's writing about the SpaceX launch, I'd be like, oh, fuck these guys. They're losers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then you actually like dig a little deeper. You're like, oh, wow. They're like really onto something.
Well, I think in general, what's happening right now is there's an easy way to dislike anyone with massive levels of success.
Yeah.
But very few people are digging deep and appreciating all the work. Like Elon, unfortunately, has become, I would argue, public enemy number one.
Of course, yeah.
But like, if you actually look at like what he's done, and I know everyone's, Elon bootlicker, like whatever. As someone just appreciates how hard he's worked and what he's done, it's like fascinating. It's insane. It's the same thing. That's how I felt when I saw the fashion show for Fear of God. I was like, I admired what he did. And then when I listened to the podcast on All In about SpaceX, I was like, holy shit, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, no, they did an amazing job of explaining how much engineering and technology that was advanced despite the explosion.
Yeah.
It's like we can get to the next point.
Yeah.
And they're privately funded companies, so who cares if what they're doing?
Yeah,
like,
if they burned $30 billion to get there.
Private investors.
Private investors, they have decided this is what they want to invest.
No, it's really cool. I actually was.
I highly recommend everyone listening to the intro of that because it was like, I don't know.
Because I actually went in with the bias that they were just going to Elon bootlick.
Yeah.
Because we know they're very close with him.
Yeah.
And then I listened to it and I was like, wow, this is actually really cool.
Yeah, I got to listen. I didn't listen. No, I didn't get to it yet.
Fucking
Yeah.
dope.
I'll
It's
do
so
it tonight. What are we talking about? We want to talk about merch, or do we want to talk about?
Let's talk about merch. Eric.
Hi.
Eric Deluxe.
Eric Deluxe
famous-
in the building.
What's up, guys?
Designer
World famous
extraordinaire.
Oh, keep going.
I mean, we've introduced you as world famous DJ all this time. Who knew you were a fucking mastermind designer all these years?
It's funny. It kind of happened on this podcast. Remember, was it last year?
Yeah, when I was like cheap scribble.
You're talking about like people not wanting to work, and I was like, well, here I am. I don't want to DJ no more. Give me a job. And he was like, hire you to do what? What the fuck do you do? I was like, I don't know. I'll design. He goes, you don't fucking. I was like, dude, I've been designing for years for like HMC stuff and like Fade and whatever.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I thought you just scribble. And then he gave me the chief scribble officer role. And then like I went home that night inspired to make a design. Did the crew neck.
Yeah.
Sold out in 30 seconds. Yeah, the next Jerry.
Yeah. We'll see the
Maybe.
Hollywood Bowl.
That's it. Hollywood
That's
Bowl. Make sure we get invited, not just D with the empty suite.
Yeah. Good point.
It's funny. I was with D that day, and we're like in the elevator. I was like, "Where are you going?" He was like, "I'm going to the Fear of God show." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
He's like, "Oh, it's
he goes,
full.
I'm going."
You
No,
can't
he
come.
like deaded me right away. He goes, "Yeah, I'm going solo. I want to be able to shake and move and not have to worry about no one." And I was like,
I did not
"No,
say
you
all
said that.
That's
Yes,
it.
you did,
That's
bro."
it.
I said I want to
to
go by myself.
No, you said I just want to be by myself. I don't want. I got to shake.
said,
and
I don't
move.
want those two guys weighing me
I don't
down.
want baggage.
I think those were our three. Those were the three seats. It was me, you, and Eric.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Well, hey,
He
whatever. At least
just
he was able to
sidelined us.
shake around with the Heisman Trophy winner.
You gotta check his email. He probably had mad
Yeah.
passes in there.
See the
For
text
sure.
messages.
There's
How many
Alfred being like,
barcodes?
"Hey, what's up with Anand and drama? What thought we were going to see those
Yeah,
guys?"
Alfred's probably mad that we're not there.
I know. He probably thought we dissed him.
By the way, fun story. The amount of Cathys that were at that show was bananas. The amount
Really?
of people that came up to me that listened to the podcast, very cool looking, trendy people.
At the wait, so how? What was it? Invite only, or did they sell tickets?
No. So what I heard was they had like their invite list of whoever they invited, but apparently on their website for like a brief moment they
did it.
They did like a
Because I completely missed it.
Yeah.
I would see them promoting. I knew it was coming up, and then when I saw you that day, I was like, "Oh shit, that's today." But I didn't hear anything.
yeah.
Is Jerry
That's
from
crazy.
LA?
Yeah.
Huh.
Actually,
No.
he's
Chicago?
not. No, not Chicago. Well, he moved around. His dad was a
Baseball
baseball
manager.
manager. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they moved around a lot.
Got
But
it,
I think
got it.
I forgot
Wasn't
where
it
he's
like
from.
the Cubs or White Sox? Or
Yeah,
something?
White Sox. No,
Mets,
shit.
I think.
Mets.
Mets.
I don't know. Couple teams.
I just
Yeah.
remember, D, that there was like that guy, who I won't say his name, but that lives in Chicago in the apparel world that had some beef with you for things you said on group chat.
Oh yeah.
With you?
Yeah, there was a
With
guy who wanted to beat D. I say he was going to beat D up because of
Yeah.
what he was saying on group chat. Didn't know what he was
Really?
talking
Yeah.
about.
I didn't
You and those
remember this.
clowns. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
thought maybe,
yeah.
that when you were
I
talking about
probably know
running
what he's
into
talking
people
about.
and then you were talking about that scene, it'd just be funny to have
I'm
some
pretty
like,
sure
group
he
chat.
was there too.
You know what'd be
so-
funny is if you went alone without your fucking friends and, and you got jumped in your fucking
Wow.
box with all that room. Anyway,
I'm gonna
Eric,
take that plastic knife and shake.
Yes, Chris.
Eric, what's up? We got some new. I mean, you just blessed us, yeah.
So the thing is, I've been designing here and there, and I've been working with D on side projects, and I felt like, and even Ari like hit me. He was like taking the role, like, dude, let's do merch, and I like did a couple of designs. I sent it to the group chat. No one replied. Literally no one. I think everyone waits for D. Ari didn't fucking reply. He
I
started
wasn't
to
in
chain.
the group chat, right?
Ari.
I was not.
You're right.
Okay.
You weren't on the group chat.
Okay.
And then fast forward, I was just like, man, I like to make stuff myself too at the office. So I was just starting making stuff. And I was like, dude, you know what? I told D, I said, I'm just going to make shit. I'm going to have you wear it. And we're just going to launch it. Like, I'm just going to do it. Like, I'm not going to wait around. Because he's so busy with like so many. And all you guys are busy. And I was like, let me just make it. sell it. I'm in a Discord now, leaking photos.
Nice.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's good.
Nice.
No, the merch is insane. It's the first time I've had very friends of a lot of means that are like, hey, how do I get that? They never ask me for anything.
Yeah. I
You say,
have
buy
a
it,
couple
rich
friends.
guy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, me and D know because every time we post need. I'm like, yeah, you need till it's available for sale. Then where are you?
You need to buy this.
Yeah, you need to buy this shit.
Everyone needs, but I don't see their names in Shopify.
But that being said,
We haven't launched
we're
yet,
making
right?
it. It's launching tonight, and we're
Tonight.
making it very, very affordable. That
Yeah.
way,
No,
people can rep.
So we got the GCP hats that I've been wearing for $20. We got
That's
the
a hot
GCP hoodies for
I'm wearing.
$40. And if you're a Chatty Cathy member, you get 20% off. And I'll give you the discount code in the Discord. We'll release it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. I was with this is good. So I was with George Heaton, who's the founder of Represent, a very cool
Mm-hmm.
British streetwear brand. We were having dinner Thursday night, and at the end of the dinner, he's about to leave. He's like, "What's GCP?"
Nice.
He's like, he just like, "What is that?" He's like, "I gotta know." And then I was like, "Oh, so it's the podcast." Oh, he's like, "I thought so." He's just like, "That's dope," and he walked away. And so it's like,
I'm telling you, people
That's a
that
good
are
logo.
important matter.
it's a good logo.
It was
That logo
honestly,
looks important.
I know. I've been wearing this hat all day at like 3 kids' birthdays. Everyone's like, "What's GCP?" It's like it's
a thing.
because you want to know what it is.
Yeah.
Do you guys have
Just
those at the
curious.
office?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do.
We'll send it to you.
Maybe the brown one
Maybe
and
you can
a-
show up one
I
day.
know. I knew it was
I'm with
coming.
Ari on that one.
I knew the moment I
Your
said
hat-
it. I knew it.
Your hat is
Go in
here.
line.
I
Your
will
hat's been
say,
here.
I'm actually going to put this on blast. Anthony, dude, bro, famous music manager, venture capitalist, was like, I want to rock one.
Yeah, good.
So post it, Anthony.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Anand and I talk all the time, and he was like, Anthony asked for one. I said, no way. What'd he say? I was interested. Like, I want to see what people are saying about it. He was like, what'd he say? He goes, I know. He said he wanted it. It's dope. I'd rock that.
yeah.
Did he know
Put the
Eric
hat over your
designed it?
cornrows.
Yeah, I actually told him Eric designed it.
Okay. I
He
feel
saw
like
it
just
and
to
then-
diss Eric, he would not wear it. or
No,
something.
yeah, just to talk shit. Like, oh, I don't want it anymore.
He loves it. Yeah.
He loves talking shit to me.
Okay. Well, and so it's up like literally tonight, Sunday night.
Sunday night, it's up. We got the GCP, and basically every month we've designed a drop. We have this collection, and then we have a more fun like.
I'm actually wearing an unreleased crew neck right now.
So
Wow.
so we're gonna drop that for graduation. That's graduation day.
When's that?
That's gonna be in June.
June? Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
we're
that's
doing a
good.
whole GCU
Mhm.
graduation day photo shoot video.
You know what we should
song.
look at is we should see if you can buy like bulk like graduation hats that are green
Oh, yeah.
that match.
Yeah,
that you could
yeah,
throw
yeah.
in the box because the photos
Yeah.
of our Cathys like on graduation day with the
That'd be
hat
so good.
and the
We
thing,
should throw
that'd
the
be-
hat. Yeah.
yes, and just
Drama, did you
repost
see?
them.
Drama, you see the license plate frame
Yes,
that we posted?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
so good.
that one.
Yeah.
So good.
yes. That's
So
so
we got
good.
a lot of things in the works, a lot of
Yeah.
fun stuff that kind of just will be fun to represent.
Yeah, and I think it's cool because like even just with the Cathy hat. So if you haven't claimed your Cathy hat, hit the Discord. I ran into a bunch of friends the last couple of days that were like, "How do I get this goddamn hat? I can't get in the Discord." If you can't get in the Discord, please message me. I will get you set up. But it's fun to see everyone wear their Cathy hats in the wild.
Dude,
Like they're camping, they're on a plane, and like
in the Discord.
I mean, I wear that hat like on an airplane, and people are like, "What the fuck is that?" Like they just don't
Yeah.
even get it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's fun.
buddy.
It's really good. Well, Eric, thank you.
Of course.
And guys, thank you. I mean, I didn't do anything on that, but it looks amazing and fucking
Yeah.
like it just, I don't know. It's like for podcast, technically, I mean, I know everyone here is very like design savvy and all that, but for podcast merch, I mean, I I don't know.
That
who's
was a
doing it
challenge.
better.
That's why we did the GCPA. It sounds like Chat GCP. Like it sounds like
yeah.
it just
Yeah.
sounds like something tech. And then also the logo looks like a fun corporate,
Like,
vintage corporate type of thing. But just something saying group chat isn't that fun.
yeah.
So you wanted something more playful where if you know, you know, and it also
Well, that's
does
what
spark
I
conversation.
like about it is like, if you see people wearing it,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
like, you know, people are like, oh shit, I listen, you listen.
And it's not that easy to design stuff with your guys' podcast name.
Yeah.
It's hard. And it's
why,
hard to like anything like, oh, podcast, and like to make it cool. Like no one, that's really hard to do.
So for the license plate frame, like I wanted to put currently listening to group chat because that's the way we say it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look right. So I had to put group chat podcast.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't sound cool.
Yeah. Well,
Like
it all
sound
looks
hearing
amazing.
it, right? Yeah,
What's funny is,
thanks,
D,
bro.
when you first had it on, I thought it said CCP, which is really funny.
It's hard to see from
Might
Zoom.
be on brand.
That's right. I thought he had a CCP shirt on. I was like, yes.
That might sound better.
Yeah. Okay, so up tonight, Sunday night. Get there.
Yes.
And
We're
Discord and the Cathys are getting hooked up.
That's it.
That's it. All right. Well,
Well, the only thing I want to end on is the Bud Light marketing VP
Mhm.
has taken a quote unquote leave of absence.
no way. That all happened
Yeah, I
so
saw that.
quick.
I mean, I think people didn't believe that she would get fired because they just think they don't understand how the world works.
Yeah.
Her ass got canned.
That is wild. No pun intended. It's just like imagine.
I also think you're being a little Clay Travis on this.
Well, it's not good for their business. It has nothing to do with my feeling toward the topic. I don't care either way. It's just, it was a bad business decision. Do you agree or disagree? You think it was a good business decision?
I don't think it actually harmed them that much, and I think all the
What?
reports.
Are
that-
you joking?
I
I
think the
got so
reports of
many
this-
DMs from people saying
If you,
it
if you
harmed.
were, I would literally go long on call options of Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, now because
Well,
they
of
fired
course,
her.
yeah. That's
Because
also true.
I don't think it matters.
No,
I know, but-
I
yeah.
I think you're absolutely wrong.
I think
the amount
social
of people
media
that
doesn't
DM me-
matter. That's what we decide. We learned that today.
No,
But sales
Morgan
were
Wallen
actually
is
down.
not talked about.
they were down.
But the
they were down
reporting-
for a month.
Sales were
They're
down.
reported by like right wing opinionists. That's
No,
what it was
but
down.
Dominic, I mean, not Dominic.
Dominic was pissed.
He's not. He's definitely.
I mean, Morgan Wallen. We just went through this. Morgan Wallen is the biggest artist in the world, and you can't find him on Twitter.
I know, but like
but I think sales
you
were
heard-
down for a month and they
in
had to-
in I'll just give anecdotally in my DM after that first conversation, everyone was like, "Bro, when you come to my bar, you order Bud Light, you're getting clowned." That has an impact.
Let's see what the earnings are.
Yeah,
I'm
now
curious.
of course it's gonna be booming. Now they
Yeah,
fired
because
her.
now you have to understand
Donald
now
Trump
the,
Jr. doubled down on them,
Yeah.
and they fired her. It's
I
very
think
different.
regardless of where you stand on like personally on like the trans
Yeah,
issue.
I don't care. I'm just saying it doesn't matter. All
No.
this is noise.
I
No, I
don't know.
think
I
it
think
matters.
if you're a company as big as Anheuser-Busch and there's this much controversy and you don't want that there. You don't want Fox News talking about you and fucking old rock stars shooting your beer.
I mean,
and
Fox News is writing $800 million checks just to be like, hey, we want to lie to
all
our
day,
audience.
all day. I'm not saying any of it's right or wrong. I'm just saying you don't want that. And then you get reports that
Yeah.
sales are down. Like that's the last thing. That
Are
is
they
a-
down? Are
They're
they down?
100% down.
I think
We
so.
don't
Can
know
I
for
tell you?
sure.
I'll tell
Let's
you.
see the
We don't know for
earnings.
Okay,
sure.
let me
We
tell
don't
you
know.
something.
Let's see the quarter
No,
earnings.
can I tell you the funniest story?
I don't want to hear anecdotal. I want to see the actual
You're gonna,
sales.
I'll tell you even a better story than anecdotal. This fucking real life. Run Club. Prithvi Raj, Indian guy from Bangalore, came to Run Club. computer science guy. And he was talking about, he's like, yeah, I listen to the podcast. And he's like, yeah, I was out with my friends at the grocery store. Someone was picking up some Budweiser. I was like, yo, you don't buy that anymore. And they didn't buy it. I'm telling you, it affected.
That's anecdotal.
No, but it is 100% anecdotal. You don't understand how anecdotal works. It actually impacts this level.
If Anheuser-Busch's earnings fall off a cliff, I'll take the L on this.
Yeah, you're going to take the L.
Does he?
Luckily, they have Donald Trump Jr. pushing it back up.
Donald Trump Jr. loves Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, because they've been writing checks and then 100%.
Yeah. Look, I think if you took the person out of it, the trans thing out of it, if you just said Anheuser-Busch changed, they decided to rebrand and change the cans to green, and sales fell off and it caused the same reaction. You took all the like political stuff out of it. I think that's a huge mistake from the marketing person. They have to be fired and you switch it over. I think it's the same thing. I don't think it was a good look. Someone's got to pay the price. They'll move on. Sales will be up. Anheuser-Busch long-term is going to be amazing. But I think it was just silly. It's like, who the fuck? Look, in my opinion, even if you're all about Dylan Mulvaney, how old are Dylan Mulvaney's fans? Are they drinking beer? Like,
no, they're never drinking beer.
Like, what is happening? What kind of a campaign is that even?
It's similar to targeting someone like myself. I don't drink beer. So just double down on the people that drink beer.
Kavanaugh.
Post Malone, give him more money. Yeah, whatever you give him, just give him double, and hit up Kavanaugh.
Give the football, the Brett Kavanaugh, like whatever. Like, don't
like Dylan Mulvaney's fans. That's who you're trying to get.
I'm more influenced by Dylan Mulvaney than fucking anyone who drinks Bud Light.
I'd be like almost offended at like, who are you marketing to? Fucking 14-year-olds?
It's okay to
like it's like if Charlie D'Amelio was their face.
Can't two things be true?
Yeah, what?
They made a bad marketing decision, and it's really not that important.
No, it is that important. I think you're wrong. I think it was.
I agree with you. I think they made a bad marketing decision. Long term, not that big of a deal. But I think part of the deal is you got to chop the marketing person. That's part of the storyline to be like, hey, made a bad decision, fixed it. We're all good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think short term they have pain, but long term we know Bud Light is America.
Everyone's drinking Bud Light.
Yeah. You saw the
obviously, they're going to have Travis Kelce in a commercial this summer, and we're back. But that's fine. Right now,
Travis Kelce is everywhere.
Yeah. He's a great American.
Put his face Kelce on the next run. We're fine. Yeah. We're back. And Morgan Wallen, fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Morgan Wallen should get like $100 million from Bud Light.
They should. I think if they announce a Morgan Wallen Bud Light collab tomorrow
for Stagecoach,
they
should do it this week.
And I don't think
it's just think about it.
Just let him play.
Yeah, do it this week. Do a Bud Light stage at Stagecoach. Pay him whatever the fuck it takes. Morgan
$10 million bucks. Put him on there.
Here's my thing. Like, we all have been in like marketing and stuff for a long time and paid attention to it and brand deals, and we know what people do. If you just looked at Dylan Mulvaney and you said, well, what type of product would be good for Dylan Mulvaney? Who is the audience? It's fucking 14-year-olds.
Yeah.
Why are you doing a beer? It's literally like doing it with Charlie D'Amelio. So all trans issues or political stuff aside, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
It's just a bad business. It's a bad business decision.
It's a bad business decision because of what you just described, because our audience is very young.
If I was like a trans activist, to be honest with you, I would be offended and be like, Bud Light, you think it's that easy? Like, just slap someone's face on your thing. Oh, we're all going to drink Bud Light. It just felt cheap. It felt like just an overall bad thing. So anyway, the girl steps down, the head of VP or VP of marketing or whatever, and we're all good. Anheuser-Busch to the moon. That's it, right?
Go long. Like Weight Watchers. We made a lot of people money on Weight Watchers.
Yeah. Okay.
Investing is very simple. If I gave my principles on investing, I would get canceled, unfortunately. But it's very simple.
Give it.
I'll give you a hint. People are pigs.
That works. That's it. That could be your whole thesis.
My whole thesis is that people
that's Warren Buffett, right? Isn't that Warren Buffett?
Warren Buffett, you know what he invests in?
Doritos.
He invests in Dr. fucking Pepper, and insurance. You know
Pig
why?
feed.
People who drink too much Dr. Pepper
Get sick.
have high insurance policies.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's
His whole thesis is that people are pigs.
Yeah, yeah. And
He
he's eating
definitely has
McDonald's
the
every day.
most simplistic insurance or investing policy. in
He's
the
just like,
history.
wait, McDonald's, Dr. Pepper, what does that mean?
Railroads.
Insurance.
10 years ago, he was like, "Oh, railroads matter. There's
Yeah.
only a handful of railroads in America."
He
Smart
didn't
guy.
make his money off railroads. He made his money off pigs.
And
Insurance.
Apple.
Insurance.
He made more money off Apple than anything.
Well,
He's like, "Oh, everyone likes
well,
an
let me
iPhone."
tell you something. No one's eating an apple.
He's definitely not investing
But
in
they are
apples,
using
but he will invest in Apple.
Yeah, nobody's eating an apple.
Oh man. Okay, there you have it.
All
Grab
right,
the merch.
There we go.
It's out today. Our new schedule, just to remind you, Sundays, and we will be back on Wednesday for our second episode of the week. That's it. Everyone have a great week. Bye-bye.